Hey everybody, how's it going? Thought I'd give you guys a abbreviated update on where I've been at and what I'm doing and how training for the Mongol Derby's going. So just so you all know, it's on still for July 2022 this year. After, as you all know, it was delayed last year, but it's been kind of a glorious time for me. I mean, I don't really have the right words for it other than just absolute timelessness, and my horsemanship has taken a turn for the better. I mean, the pressure is off for the horses to perform the way that I guess I used to put the pressure on them when it was, clients needing colt starts or training, and there's always a bit of a timeline and something to prove. And somehow in training for this race, my whole attitude and timeline is just completely disintegrated, and my horses are just glowing. I mean, they're doing better than they were before, and these are obviously different horses, but just the quality of the work feels timeless. And I think horses don't have a timeline like we do, and so there's this congruency, this consent, this beautiful work that's happening, and I'm just thrilled. So as a happy side note to training for the Derby, that's been pretty amazing. So I spent last 3 weeks down in San Luis Obispo area working for a school that has a really amazing equine program run by Gina Butala. They needed a little bit of help just checking on the horses, and that ranch is 3,000 acres, so I got a lot of time in the saddle as well, which was great. And did a restart on a Mustang, and then obviously just miles on a bunch of other horses. So that was amazing and wonderful. Got to work with some of the students as well. And now I'm back here at Montgomery Creek Ranch, the Wild Horse Preserve, and got a couple new starts and a few horses that I started a few months ago and then now need a little more time under saddle. Those horses will all be up for sale here pretty soon. And yeah, so that's the update for now. I'll be here for about 2.5 weeks and then heading back north to Idaho. So a couple questions have come up about the Derby that I thought I'd address here. A main one being tack. So we do not bring our own tack. There was a saddle maker out of South Africa that was commissioned to basically build a saddle for this race. And as the horses in Mongolia are very small, they're between 12 and 14 hands, and they're relatively narrow. These saddles are ideal for them. So they're basically like an endurance style, very lightweight, very minimal saddle. And each rider receives one saddle that we then swap from horse to horse. And there's a pad and a bridle as well. So big thing is if you get bucked off, you definitely need to go find that horse and make sure that you bring it to the next station, and you will then have your tack with you as well. And another question that comes up a lot is, are you bringing your own horse? I've already answered this before, but I thought I'd just touch back on it. No, we do not ship horses to Mongolia. The herders that will be our housing and our food and our friends along the way, they pick their favorite, their fastest, their most reliable horses for us to ride. So each rider will ride between 3 and 4 a day if you're making good time. And each horse only runs about 25 to 30 miles from station to station. And of course, the horses make heart rate. So we as riders get penalized if our horse's heart rate isn't below 56 beats per minute after a half an hour of arriving at the next station. So it's really important that we track our horse's heart rate and obviously don't run them past what their capacity is. Let's see, last questions are, this is a big one, like what are you afraid of? What are you scared of for this race? And I'm pretty much in this like gleeful excitement mode. I think a huge bummer would be that this is the one thing that comes to mind right now is if I was to get hurt, either before or during the race. I am currently starting a lot of colts, and as you all know, that's pretty dangerous. I do my best to do tons of prep on the ground beforehand and make sure my horses are present and happy to move forward, and that riding is just another step in, you know, a form of communication just off their back. But things happen, you know. I had to bail off a horse a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't his fault, it wasn't my fault. It was just a circumstance, and all's well. That was no big deal, but you know, things happen. So that would be a big bummer in training for this race, trying to be prepared for it, to get hurt and then have something make it not happen. So anyways, that's a fear of mine. The other one is just wear and tear and gear, right? So 10 days or less to 620 miles in the Mongol steppe, riding 40 different horses, that is a ton of wear on your body, but also on your gear. Like, what if my breeches don't hold up? What if, you know, my pants rip down the crack? What if, I don't know, my pack rips off and my water bladder breaks, or things like that? Just reliable gear. So, yeah. All right, that's it for now. Bye.